Hello and welcome to yet another video on the Twofold channel. This right here is a 2025 Volvo EX30 Twin Motor Performance. This car is a beauty and we've been living with it for the past 30 days to give you a real world sort of feel of living with an electric vehicle, especially a Volvo electric vehicle. But in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything from the looks to inside, what I like about it and don't even like. And then we take it for a spin and then we close it off with our final remarks. This is going to be a good one, so stay tuned. The Volvo EX30, Volvo's best-selling electric SUV in South Africa, is finally with us for review. So let's start with the looks on this car. When it comes to the looks of the Volvo EX30, I think one thing that really stands out is those Thor hammer daytime running lights that have been updated and modernized to fit this vehicle. And then the rest of the front has been pretty much closed off because you don't need those air vents. You get that standard signature Volvo emblem in the front, and then moving on to the side you get 20-inch wheels, and then you get that sloping roofline on this car, which just emphasizes that it's a compact SUV. And then to the rear you get beautiful daytime running lights as well as LED lights for when it's dark. And then we can have a look inside the vehicle. When it comes to the inside, Volvo has opted to keep it very minimalistic in this car. What you're greeted with is a very big screen in the center which houses your instrumentals as well as any other infotainment, even your car settings. So it also supports wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And right in front of the driver you get a very big steering wheel, multifunction at that, and then right in front of that there's only a sensor monitoring your visibility. Again, all the instrumentals are on that infotainment screen in the center. The rest of the vehicle features recycled material seats. In the front and in the rear, there's a lot of space for your passengers too. And then there's a boot space to match as well, which is adequate for all your traveling needs. Now let's talk about performance and take this car on the road. When it comes to performance, this Volvo EX30 Twin Motor Performance actually has two motors, one in the front and one in the rear. And then power output is at 315 kilowatts as well as 543 Newton meters of torque. That means it can go from 0 to 100 in just 3.6 seconds with 180 kilometers an hour top speed coming through. So when it comes to driving the Volvo EX30, it's a very smooth ride and I really enjoy that. In terms of EVs, I think this is one of the better sort of like from a driving experience, EVs that we've come across. Just from even, I know when you're looking outside, it'll look like the car is a bit on the tiny side of life. But once you're inside, it's very comfortable as well. That ride quality just blends through beautifully to what you experience when you're driving it inside and sitting here from the driver's position. So I really enjoyed that about the EX30, and Volvo has thought hard about that. To the point where it doesn't actually feel like you're driving an EV. You're only cognizant of that because of one, the silence. But you can still hear a little bit of road noise obviously coming through, which they haven't really isolated well. But of course with that it brings the cost of the car up to ridiculous prices, but this will do. It's a very nice car, little understeering on this vehicle, but with that, I don't want to say it gives you a sporty sort of like effect, but it just gives you an enjoyable ride where when you're twisting and you're turning, it just goes with a bend, it doesn't struggle at all. So from that perspective, driving this car has been good. And then just talking about just the power, the battery and the range. From a battery perspective, we get about 65 kilowatt hour, which means that it's good for this battery, and it supports up to 200 kilowatts of charging. So we were able to go from, I'm going to take an example, we were like under 10%, at like 8% to 100 in about an hour. So that means that from 20 to 80 it can be done under 30 minutes, which is great. Of course, depending which charger you're using. If it's a really fast one, we were using a 150 kilowatt charger. But that charger was also sharing with another car, which is the mini Aceman that we have on long term. So that's just good figures from that perspective charging. Range-wise, we got 380 kilometers. And what I like about the batteries in this Volvo, what Volvo have done with their battery technology, is that it doesn't seem to deplete as quickly as any other vehicle, which is great because we're able to drive from Johannesburg to Welkom, which is about 240-50 kilometers away, with this car in just one single charge. We didn't need to charge anywhere else. Obviously, you'll get a little bit of range anxiety because you'll have under 100 kilometers left once you reach your destination. But I mean, then you're safe. You're pretty much, in the town. You can find a charger. There was a charger, or you can just charge at home or wherever you're visiting, right? So it's great from that perspective as well. We really enjoyed that element. Nothing to fault really about this car. And from a pricing perspective, you can expect to pay about 1.1 million rand for this Volvo that we're driving at the way it is, which is a great price. Also looking at its competitors, again, like the Mini Aceman, which it competes with, which comes in at under 1 million rand. But it doesn't have a twin motor. That's the thing. So you also have to sort of like weigh your options. What do you want here? Do you want that instant performance? What are you in it for, really? So this here, I feel like it's great positioning. I mean, if we were getting rebates for EVs, I think the price of this car would be about 700, if not less. But it's still a good product. To finish off talking about pricing, have a look at this insert. Here's the truth nobody tells you about buying your first car in Mzansi. You don't need years of saving or rich parents. I'm about to show you exactly how to get approved for car finance even with zero credit history, and why specific option could save you thousands of rands. But here's the thing. There are actually 3 finance options that can get you driving this month, and most people don't even know the third one. Let's have a look. Coming in at option 1, let's look at the traditional installment sale. This is the straightforward one where you borrow the full amount and pay it back over 4 to 6 years. Think about a 200,000 rand car that equals to about 4,200 rand monthly in installments for 5 years. It's simple, but those payments are steep for a young professional such as yourself. Next would be the balloon payment. Let's have a look at that. The balloon payment makes things interesting. Essentially here you push a chunk of the payment to the end, called the balloon. That same 200,000 rand car now costs you 2,800 rand monthly instead of 4,200. The catch, you'll need to pay 60,000 rand at the end, but you can refinance it or trade it up. And then coming up is the guaranteed future value, which I call the game changer. This one is the one most people don't know about. The lender guarantees what your car will be worth in 3 to 4 years. You only pay the difference. So that 200,000 rand car with 80,000 rand guaranteed value, you'll be only financing 120,000 rand, and that means you're paying 2,200 rand monthly. And here's the kicker. After 3 to 4 years, you can trade it in, keep it, or just walk away. No depreciation stress, no being stuck with a car you've outgrown. But what if you have zero credit history? WesBank's graduate finance is specially designed for fresh graduates such as yourself. They look at your potential and not your past. If you've got a degree and a steady income, you could get approved when traditional lenders say no. And here's your action plan. First, calculate your total monthly costs, not just the car payment, but fuel, insurance, and maintenance, everything. A cheaper car that guzzles fuel might actually cost you more. And then secondly, get pre-approved before you shop. Thirdly, compare the total cost over the full contract, not just monthly payments. Your first car isn't just transport. It's your ticket to better job opportunities, side hustles, and building your professional career. Do not let not having perfect credit hold you back. If this content brought to you by our friends at WesBank helped you understand your options, hit that like button and subscribe for car financing tips that actually work. And drop a comment below which finance option sounds right for your situation. Hey, I know you guys don't really like EVs, but I hope this video has sort of changed your perception about it. But we've enjoyed living with this car, and we're curious to find out what you think of this whole review of EVs in general, of this Volvo EX30 in general as well. So please leave them down in the comments down below. And then please make sure that you share this video with your friends and family, and also make sure that you subscribe so that you're the first one to know when we drop the latest content. But from myself, Papi Mabele, and Gift behind the camera, thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.